Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to today's AMA session. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the chat. That would be great. See if I can't turn on my, whoa, that looks pretty crazy. Let me see if I can change my webcam. Display. Kind of a side profile. There we go. Can you guys see that? Is that working for you guys? Let me know in the chat. That'd be great. Can you guys see me in the camera? What's up? What's up? Yes, yes, yes. Scott, you lost weight. Looking good. Thanks, buddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can see me. Wonderful, wonderful. I lost more weight. Yes. Damn, dude. Thanks, Jeff. Is Joe coming? Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's see if I can't turn this monitor just a little bit before we get started. All right, I think that should work well. Give you guys a little profile picture. See you and sound good. Fantastic, fantastic. Good stuff. All right, guys. I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to get on and kind of shoot the shit with you guys, so to speak, before we kind of dive right into the AMA session. So I kind of opened up and talked to you guys about what I've been thinking about and what's been on my mind the last couple of months. On Monday's email, I got some flack for it, but ultimately, I would say 95 or 99% of people love the email and great feedback. To me, I guess to reiterate, the last couple of months have been a big reminder that nothing is more important than your happiness. And for me, that includes my mental health, but also my physical activity. And so that has improved big time. So let's see. I have lost, somebody asked how much weight have you lost? So at my heaviest about 7 months ago, I was about 220. And today, $170. I did that with keto. I love the keto diet. For me, it's not a diet, it's a way of life. I can imagine myself living and eating keto forever. My brain feels less foggy. I wake up ready to go. I wake up excited. Like I get up and I'm like fully awake in 5 minutes after getting out of bed, which like didn't happen before. I'd wake up, I feel groggy, lots and lots of coffee just to like get me going for the day. So obviously like has benefits here. My stomach is gone, lost a lot of weight, but also I got to say that doing keto and intermittent fasting has also really helped me in business, right? And really helped my brain. I feel like this fog has just been kind of lifted off of my head. So if this speaks to you, great. That's why I'm telling you guys. I'm not going to preach the keto diet. If it's not for you, don't do it. If you don't want to do intermittent fasting, don't do it. Just sharing, guys, what has worked for me. And really, I wanted to share what's worked for me because I've told some people, and some people have seen. Some people follow me on Snapchat. If you guys don't follow me on Snapchat, look me up on Snapchat, and you guys will see more into my personal life than you guys really see. And people have seen my meals and my exercise and working out and everything. And a lot of people have asked me about it. And I see people making changes in their lives, right? I see people like, Joe, I just ate the same thing as you, right? For like the last week or for the last couple of days, and I'm already losing weight. Like I lost 2 pounds yesterday. That is like freaking fantastic. And for me, guys, that echoes like why I'm in this space, right? Is, to help you guys. I am here to help you. And I have to be the most real person that I can be in order for me to really help you and for me to be enthused and excited about that. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat. That would be great. We want a webinar in the keto diet. I would be happy to do that. And guys, just so you know, like running and working out, like all foreign things, like I haven't done that since freaking high school, not college, high school. Like you couldn't pay me to run. Like you literally couldn't, but focusing on just the diet first gave me lots of extra time, and I felt so good and I had so much energy. In mid-afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, I would just like literally be like so on point and just so crazy focused and have so much energy that I literally had to do something just to get off my butt, to do something with all the energy that I found. And that's kind of what propelled me and got me started into working out yet again and getting kind of back on the train, so to speak. So if that's interesting to you guys, I would be open. Somebody said do a webinar. I'd be open to kind of sharing with you guys if you're interested what I've been up to in a little bit more detail. Kind of the diet structure that I followed, how I started getting active again and just kind of getting off my butt, like the easy steps, and then kind of where I'm at today, which is I just finished a prep to be able to run a 10K, which is about 6.5 miles roughly. So I'd be more than happy to share with you guys what has worked for me, as always, right? That's what I do. I share what's working in my life and what's working in my business, and more than happy to share that with you guys if that's of interest. Let me get a little gauge real quick from everybody. If that's of interest, give me a 2 in the chat. That would be great. And I'll try to keep that separate, right? I'll give you guys a little update on what's going on, but I can do a whole webinar, I'm sure, just dedicated to that. Yeah, people liking it. Okay, good. Somebody says step back. Let me see a little better. Yeah, so so down to a 30 size waist, which is freaking crazy, and finally starting to gain some more lean mass back, getting into the gym and really lifting. So exciting stuff. Jeff says I went from 295 to 205. Want to lose another 25? Dude, that's freaking fantastic. Looking really good now. Way to go. Thanks, Jeff. And again, guys, it's not just like, quote unquote, like looking good, but it's about feeling good, right? And having that energy. It's done amazing things for me and my family, my relationship with my kids, right? I'm never out of energy. I'm always hustling and I'm always playing with them, right? They're the ones bowing out and quitting before me, which is great. It's made a huge impact. So cool, guys. Anyway, let's go ahead and cut right here, right now. Let's jump into the AMA without further ado. I'm super excited that each and every one of you guys are here. Thanks for coming, hanging out with me. I'm going to do my best to keep this thing limited to an hour. All right, so about 5 or 10 minutes past the top of the hour. Guys, I can talk forever. I could just go on keto right now, uninterrupted, and what it's done for me and everything for an hour straight, no problem. But I want to be respectful of your guys' time, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So welcome to the AMA. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. The first question that we have is from James Saunders. James asks, what does a website must have to rank for voice search? All right, so for voice search, what does your website must have? Kind of mouthful. The tricky thing with voice search is that Siri or Google Home or whatever you're using for voice search, right? Whatever platform, they're only bringing you back one result. Right. So in Google, it's like they say that if you don't, if you're found on the second page, right, like you're dead and, sayings like that, like it doesn't matter. Right. That's where you hide a dead body. Right. With voice search, guys, like if you're not on the first page, you're done. Right. You're hosed. With voice search, I'm sorry, if you don't rank right and be that first result, you don't have a chance. So I put together what I think are the top voice search best practices. Okay, and we've been doing some analysis lately on this. My team's been doing some analysis lately on this, and these are common things that I'm seeing. Okay, these are common things that I'm seeing over and over and over again, right? The sites that are coming through and the results are coming through in voice search, these are the things that they have in common. Okay, first and foremost, guys, fast website load time, like that spans way further than just SEO. And is such a user experience signal, right? Google, at the end of the day, they want users to have good experiences. If they don't have a good experience, Google isn't going to keep feeding you the traffic, right? So fast website load time. For this, I would say 3.5 seconds, 3 seconds or less. Okay, and you guys should be able to really get it under that. HTTPS is so important now for ranking, period. None of my websites don't have SSLs unless I don't care about Google's traffic. And you guys know me, I'm very reliant on Google traffic. SSLs are super important, guys, for most hosts. You can get them for free. There's other providers out there where you can actually, doesn't matter what host or most hosts it works with, you can actually go get an SSL for free. So don't let the price be a deterrent. Every website, no matter what, should have an SSL if you're wanting it to have any type of presence in Google. Next is, what's interesting is when you look at what the results are for voice search, you see the voice search results are very short and concise answers. Okay, they're very short and concise, like snippets of text. But here's the thing. What we found is that they are typically a very small, short snippet of text, but it's in a much bigger piece of content, right? So writing out, right, like how do I rank in voice search, and then answering it to try to rank in voice search isn't going to work very well, right? Instead, what you would want to do is have a big, massive, mammoth post, right, on your WordPress site or on your site about how to rank in Google, period, right? And then one of the sections would specifically be about voice search. Okay, so what we're finding is that, yes, they're short and concise answers, okay, but Google's really pulling these, right, from these much bigger snippets of content. Okay, next up is schema. Guys, every single kind of schema that you can put on your website, you should be putting on your website, right? Your local business type, if it's one of the types that's listed, right? Your open and close hours, right? Reviews, if you have reviews that you can use, right, for your products. If you have recipes on your site, recipes, right? Like literally every single type of schema that you have, you should be trying to get on your site. Okay, posts with social engagement. When we look at what's ranking, when we see what's working now in terms of voice search, right? Posts are having social engagement, right? They're being shared, right? That is definitely a trust signal, right? That's something that we've been talking about here at Digital Triggers for literally years, right? Your site needs social engagement. Obviously, there's lots of ways to get social engagement. And your social engagement metrics are really, understand that you're only competing with other sites trying to rank for those keywords, right? Right? It's an A/B comparison. It's not against the whole internet, right? A local roofing company isn't going to have 5,000 people talking about their local roofing company. Like, that's ridiculous. Okay, so it's relative. Understand that. Okay, find, answer, and subheading of larger posts. We talked about this. You'll find that often, very, very often, when using voice search, you will see that very often that website is ranking their desktop content or their mobile content. They're ranking normally, okay, without voice search. Okay, so we did some analysis, and roughly like 90 or 95% of any voice search result was ranking in the top 3 of Google. So if you don't rank in the top 3 of Google for a search term, right, understand that you're not going to have a chance, most likely, to come up for voice search. Okay, and last tip here is lots of this, let me fix that real quick. That's the mouthful. This should say lots of voice search results come from featured snippets. Okay, so you guys have all seen the featured snippets at the top of Google, right? And if you're ranking in the featured snippets, there's a really, really good chance that you're also going to rank in voice search. All right, so next up, Biggie asks, I feel like nothing I have learned about online marketing in the last 10 years is working anymore. What's working now? So that's question number one. And then number two, is the Sinwire strategy still working? Thanks, Joe. So I'm going to kind of limit the context of this question to ranking in Google, simply for the sake of me not taking hours and hours to answer just this one question. So for any website, I don't care if it's an e-commerce site, I don't care if it's a local site, I don't care if it's a site selling information, I don't care if it's a site ranking so that they can make money on Google AdSense, I don't care what the business model is, right? High level, if I were to go build links, right, for that site and do SEO for that site, right here is high level how I would do that. Okay. And the strategy I would be focusing on first is building the number of root domains. And what that really means is building the unique number of websites that link to me, right? The unique number of websites that link to me. And when I'm doing this step of building lots of root domains, I would only be focused on building links with the anchor text that is non-promotional keywords. Sorry, I messed up there. Non-promotional keywords. So instead of, if I'm trying to rank for blue widgets in Google, right, and I'm at this introductory phase of building my authority and building up the number of root domains that I have linking to me, I'm not going to link to my website every single time and say blue widgets, right? Like that is such spam. I'm not going to get away with it. Google's going to penalize me for it. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to build a lot of root domains, meaning a lot of links from unique websites, and I want to use non-promotional keywords. So for the most part, I'm going to use like my brand, right? And so it's going to be the name. So if I was building links for digital triggers, all the links would be like digital triggers, digital space triggers, right? It would be my URL and lots of variations of the URL with and without www, with and without HTTP, right? In the anchor text. Okay, I put in like my name, anybody else in my business's name. Okay, so that's stage one. Does that make sense to everybody? Can I get a 2 if that makes sense real quick? Okay, so during this phase of building the root domains, my expectation is I'm not going to rank for Jack. Okay, we'll talk about that more in a second. And I'm not going to get promotional with my anchor text, right? I need to build the authority first. Okay, so here now on the screen is everything that you can do. Well, most everything, or high level, what I would be doing over and over and over and over again, right? To build the number of root domains. Okay, I'd be doing citations. Okay, even if you aren't a local business, if it's an e-commerce site, if it's an affiliate site, I don't care. I would still be doing citations. I'd be doing Web 2.0, right? I'd be going and signing up for every Web 2.0 and social site and video site out there. Okay, I'd like to at least get some base content up there. Okay, I want to make these things real. I want to put up a couple of real posts. I want to use or get some real engagement. Okay, and each and every one of these should have a link back to your site. Okay, so probably without thinking, guys, if you went and actually like went pad to paper, you could probably come up with like 50 to 60 sites to get links on just in these first two categories. Do you guys agree with me? You could come up with at least 50 sites between these first two categories. Give me a 2 in the chat if you could agree with me. It might take you a little bit, but you could come up with it, right? All right, there we go. It looks like it was frozen. So guys, at the end of the day, that's 50 root domains. That's 50 root domains. I can tell you guys just on like a local level, right? 50 root domains will beat out the SEO of probably, 70% of the sites out there, unless they're ranking for like very competitive niches like DUI attorney in highly competitive states like, New York or cities like New York City. Okay. Other things I would do. I just did a post recently on the Digital Triggers blog about how we're building blog comments for unique or root domains. And this is freaking crushing it for us. Yes, blog comments. Okay, if you want to figure out how we're doing that, you want to know the system, the process, go check out the blog post on digitaltriggers.io/blog. Okay, next up is guest posts and sponsored posts. So guest posts are simple, right? Find sites that accept guest post content. If you can, find ones that have taken content for related niches or the same niche that you're in, or shoulder niches. And by shoulder, I mean, kind of one niche removed. So if you're a DUI, let's not use DUI attorney. Let's say that you're in the home services space and you do HVAC, that a roofer has posted content on that site, or there's been a piece of content on that site about roofs, right? And then you write up a piece of content, you email the blogger and say, I'd like to put this on your site, right? I'd like to do a guest post. Here's the article. Let me know in the next couple of days if this is something that you want to publish. Guys, it's really that freaking simple, okay? Sponsored posts is basically the same thing, except you're offering money. It's just like guest posts, except you're offering money. So the pitch goes something like this. Hey, I'm wondering if you accept sponsored posts on your website. Okay, if so, let me know what the cost is. That's it. Okay, you get back the email from them, they respond back, you look at the price, you look at the metrics for the site. Does it have good authority? Does it have a good trust? Does it have actual real traffic? Right, and is it worth that cost? Guys, keep it simple. That's literally it. Okay, each and every one of you guys on this call could build yourselves or could build your clients an 8-figure, 9-figure business just doing this in terms of building links. Right here. That's it. So this is stage 1, right? This is building the root domains, and we're going after non-promotional keywords. So once my site starts to settle in Google and I start to get some traction, and I'm ranking for some of my second or third tier keywords, right? Not the super competitive ones, but the longer tail, like real buying keywords. When I start ranking for those on the bottom of the first page, the second page, the top of the third page, I know that my site is primed in Google. Let me say that again. Once I do this, and I start ranking on the second page or bottom of the first page or top of the third page, right, for my second tier or third tier keywords, without me building any links with any promotional keywords, even to my product pages or pages I want to rank, and I start ranking naturally, that means it's go time. Give me a 3 if that makes sense, right? Now it's time to start building links to the pages that I want to get ranked, right? With the keyword phrases that I want to get ranked. Please give me a 3 if that makes sense so we can move on. This is important. I see way too many people just do some of this and then just skip to the next phase. You're going to hurt yourself. Okay, so once you have made it to that step, right, you're starting to rank naturally, right, just from building a bunch of root domains from non-promotional anchor text, then we want to start really sniping some of our rankings. Okay, so when we're doing this, we want to not over optimize it. All right, we like to play things uber safe. Guys, I don't like to build things anymore that only are around for 6 months or 7 months or 8 months or 9 months or a year, right? Like I like long-term assets. Okay, if something isn't going to be a long-term asset for me, I don't do it. Right? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't play into the long term. Okay, I highly recommend that you guys follow the same train of thought. So somebody asked if I use PBNs anymore. I haven't used PBNs for years, John. I share with you guys on Digital Triggers how we used to do it. It's still the system I would use today. But for me, again, I don't want an asset that spits off 60 grand one time, right? When and it gets hit by Google because we were using PBNs, when I could do the same thing and maybe it'll make me 40 grand the first year instead of 60, right? But then it's going to continue to produce revenue for me year after year after year, right? I'd much rather have that second asset. Okay, so don't over optimize your anchor text. So if you want to rank for blue widgets, don't have every one of your links to that page be blue widgets, right? You want to play it safe. So what I do, guys, is I look at my competitors. Okay, you can use Moz or you can use Ahrefs or Majestic. You can use any of those tools. Right now, I've been using Ahrefs a lot, and I'd plug in my keyword phrase and I'd look at my competitors and I'd see what they're doing. How many links have they built to that page to get it to rank? And what is the anchor text that they've used, right? And what's that percentage? And I would look at all of them, and then I'm going to take the safest approach, right? I'm going to keep it as white and as natural looking as possible. Why? Because again, for me, I want a long-term asset. Dan says, hey, Joe, good to see you, man. Awesome. Good to see you as well, buddy. Well, I can't really see you. So ways to get links to specific pages with specific anchor text. Guys, social and web 2.0s. Guest posts, sponsored posts, okay? And then putting great content on your site and outreaching for links. There's a million ways to do this, okay? And I don't care if you're local. I don't care if you're e-com, right? If you're e-com, you could go give away a product in exchange for a review, right? And in that review, you're getting a link, right? There's just so many limitless opportunities for building links in these three ways right here. For local, who wants a great link building idea for local? You're in local, you got some clients that maybe you do SEO for, and you want to build some crazy authoritative backlinks that stick forever, right? And guys, these are the kind of backlinks where like you build like 10, 12 of these, like you're going to freaking crush it. All right, guys. So I'm in the middle of doing this right now. Right meow. So with local, we have a client that we're running a case study on, and they live in an area that is very based on tourism, right? So people coming in and staying there is how like their whole local economy runs. So what we're doing is we're going around to each and every one of the hot travel spots, right? The hot places that you can't miss when you go to that city. And a friend of mine that happens to live around that area is going and taking drone footage and drone pictures of the area. Okay, we just finished up the photo shoot. So now what we're going to do, the second part, now that we have these assets, we're compiling all of them and the best of all of them, we're organizing them, and we're sending them out to every site that would be interested in those pictures, right? That talk about all the places that you need to go when you're in that tourist town, but have crappy images. We're emailing them and we're simply saying, we saw that you have pictures of, and we're putting in the location, right, on your website. And we thought you might be interested in using the images, right, that we just took, or the photography or the photos that we just took of location, right? Let me know if you are, and we provide in there a free preview of some of the images. So then the catch and how we win and how we get the link is we let them use the photos for free. All that we ask is that they give us attribution for the images, meaning that they cite us as the source. So if you guys go on entrepreneur.com, you go on Forbes.com, you go on any major site, in every article where you see an image, which is every article, they're linking out to a source for their content. This is a way that you guys can build amazing quality links that will never go down. Good tip. Give me a 4 if this was a good tip for you guys. You like this one? Yes, this is freaking killer. Okay, and you guys can take this and you can apply it to locations as well that aren't such travel spots, right? Just think about it. You could do it for realtors if it's not in a city that has a lot of travel, right? Go take photos of all the top locations for like real estate, right? What are the top 20? What are the top 20 communities in the city to live in? Cool. All right, so next up, Ralph Crawford asks, I'm wondering what the best, latest process is to get ranked in the 3-pack. All right, so what I wanted to do is kind of share with you guys the big kind of 11 things that I would be focusing on right out of the gate. Okay, if I had a client trying to rank inside of the 3-pack, right, or I was trying to rank inside of the 3-pack, these are the first 11 things that I would focus on. Right? First and foremost, and I think something that 95% of people ignore is you need your website that's connected to the Google My Business to be optimized on site for the keywords that you want to go after. I see people putting up 1-page, 2-page, 3-page crappy websites that aren't optimized at all, don't even have the keyword phrases that they want to rank for on the GMB even listed on the website. Like nowhere do they say like, we do this service in this city, in these cities. Like seriously, it's not going to rank, right? Unless there's like literally zero competition. Okay. You also should have some basics on that site, like schema markup, right? Your images that you have on the site should be geotagged to the location and the service area that you're trying to serve. One thing just with geotagged images, I see a lot of people being super lazy with this. And they just geotag everything like the city center. And so the coordinates on every single geotagged image are exactly the same. Like, come on, guys, you can be better than that. Okay. Next up, fully build out your GMB listing. Okay, like fill it all up. Okay, in all the places that you can put images, put all the images that you freaking can. Okay, put in all the categories that you can that are relevant. Okay, geotag all the images before you upload them, right? Like build the whole thing out and build it out correctly. Make it look good and make it complete. Make it full. Make it so that you can't upload any more freaking images, right? Don't just do the basics. Okay, next up, create daily posts on the GMB listing. Okay, this is super simple, and I see like nobody doing it. To me, it seems like there is definitely some type of factor, right, for companies that are doing this right now, right? So create daily postings on your GMB listing. An easy way to do this, if you're already doing social posts, right, you're pushing content to Twitter, to Facebook, or wherever, just also push it right to your GMB listing. Okay. Trump your competitors' reviews. Okay, I didn't say get reviews on your GMB listings, like fucking trump your competitors. Okay, be superior by far, right? If in the 3-pack there's a competitor that has 30 reviews, get freaking 60 and make sure that you're 4.5 or 5 stars. Okay, that's what's going to make you stand out. Okay, that's what's going to make you the obvious choice when you get ranked in the 3-pack and ensure that you get all of the call volume that you can once you're ranked there. Let's see. Get a ton of citations. Yes, get a freaking ton of them. I see a lot of people saying that they're not ranking in the 3-pack, and I'm like, great. How many citations have you done so far? Oh, we did 30. Then why are you asking me what else you can do? Like, I buy 300 from the get-go, right? I'm serious about this. Next up, make sure that you put your citation, your full NAP, right, on all of your social and your Web 2.0 too. And last but not least, folks, rank organically. Rank organically. I still think that this is a big deal. I still think if you do the things, the first 10 things, and your site is also ranking, right, organically in the top 3, the top 5, you have a much, much better chance of ranking inside the 3-pack. Cool. Next up, Claudia asks, would like more clarity about this. If I register or Google My Business for a client, what's the best way to do so? Currently, I see them in my own account, attached to my Google account, attached to my mail Google account, so her Gmail account. And if they already have a Google My Business and I would like to help them optimize it, what's the best way to get access to it? Sorry, I had to grab a sip of water there. So if you're setting up, Claudia and everybody else, if you're setting up the GMB, the Google My Business from scratch, okay, I would either use a brand new Gmail account that you set up for the client, okay, or an email from their domain, okay. For me, 95% of the time, it's a new Gmail. Why? Because most of the time, getting an email account and getting access to it from a client is difficult and takes way too long. Okay. Somebody says, please put all your please explain, put all your citations on Web 2.0. That was the last question. Put your NAP, your name, address, phone number of the business on all of your Web 2.0 accounts and citation accounts. So if the business already has a Google My Business account, right, you start working with a roofer, you want to help them optimize the Google My Business listing, you would simply get them to add you as a manager. All right, so Claudia and everybody else that this is relevant for, I would highly recommend just taking a quick screenshot of this. These are the instructions. All right, you're going to sign into Google My Business, or they are, right? If they have multiple locations, they're going to choose the location. Okay, they're going to click users in the top right hand corner. They're going to click invite new managers icon, and then they're going to put in your email address. And then they're going to choose your role, owner, manager, or communications manager. Okay, I always have my client set me as manager and then click invite. And then also in there, they can manage open invites and they can delete people that they've already given access to if they want to, etc. Okay, so it shows all the owners and managers, can cancel invitations, can remove access, all of that stuff. Next up, John asks, do you recommend specializing in helping one specific type of business? 100%. I would highly recommend that you go deep in a vertical, right? So you pick, I'm going to work with roofers and I'm going to go deep, right? I'm going to work with car dealerships and I'm going to go deep. I'm going to work with dentists and I'm only going to work with dentists, right? And I'm going to be the dentist expert. I 100% agree with that. And to be frank, guys, I think it's one of the biggest mistakes that we made in our digital agencies. Yes, agencies over time is not going really, really deep in one vertical, right? Why? Because you can really understand the sales process so much better. You can understand what matters. You can make sure that your foot in the door offer is amazing and they love it. You can make sure that you understand the psychology and what pushes their buttons, right? You can learn their lingo. And then on the fulfillment, like guys, once you do the fulfillment once, doing it again and again isn't that difficult if you stay in the same niche. You know what the keyword phrases are, you know what pages you need to add to their website, you know how to optimize for them, you know what those anchor text ratios should be, right? Like so much of it stays the same, right? And now instead of just being able to offer SEO because it's the only thing that you've been able to do because you keep going in all these other niches and changing all this everything every time, and you got to do keyword research for every new client and everything is custom every single time. Because you can set up a process, now you can go past providing just SEO, right? Now you can do social and come up with a process for social. And because you're working with one niche, you can keep applying it. So now you got SEO and you got social. Why? Because you focused on a niche. You're able to go deep and offer more services and truly be that expert. And you could just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. Give me a 4 if that makes sense, everybody. Again, I truly believe this is one of the biggest mistakes that we made, especially in today's day and age. You need to build a list of prospects. You need to build a list of customers. And if they're in all these niches all over, how's your information going to pertain to them? Next up, John asks, question number 2, do you have or do you do any prospecting on LinkedIn or just via cold email? So do every freaking source that you can, right? Prospect with every source, make cold calls, make referral calls, do Facebook ads, do Google ads, do cold email, do LinkedIn ads, do LinkedIn messaging, right? Like you should be doing all of those things. Now, obviously, the challenge is doing all of those things at once. I would never recommend that. You want to focus on one prospecting method at a time. You want to get it working. Okay, get it working. Don't give up on it in 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month, right? Get one working. Build a system around it with your team so that you can hand it off to your team and then you move on to the next one, right? Rinse and repeat. Okay, so figure out how to make cold email work. It's working great. Fantastic. Outsource it to your team, put the systems in place, figure out how and where, right, to check in so that you can ensure everything's running smoothly without you, and then simply move on to building the system for the next source of traffic. Okay, and play to your strengths. Play to your strengths. Guys, I can tell you, playing to my strengths, I don't write well. I don't. How many of you guys saw me today in today's email misspell swear? Like I just don't write well. I'm better on video. So why do I do a lot of video? Because that's what I'm good at. You guys don't ever see huge long sales pages from me. Why? Because I'm not good at writing. It's not a strength of mine. You can put me on camera, right? I'm like a monkey. I can dance all day. Okay, but I can't sit down and just write. So focus on your strengths in everything. But in prospecting, think about that too. What are you going to be good at? What do you have the best chance at succeeding with? All right, James, third question. Will you ever open up your backlink training again? So James, 100%. So the beta program for our backlink outreach masterclass went very, very well. Literally everyone who implemented got results, period. I, however, don't have an ETA yet on the reopen for the program. If I had to guess, and just a guess, don't hold me to it, and this is why I hate guessing, I would say first quarter of next year for a reopen. Next up, Roger Matthews asks, Joe, I design websites in the podiatrist market. I've gotten my client, there's the client name, to totally own the 3-pack in Maps. They are first in the Google organic listing, but they don't get any calls. And he gave me the search phrase. He says, I did not buy citations as his position is so good. How can I fix it? So guys, this is a screenshot of the SERP. And you can see I put like a colon or a bracket or something, I don't know, in there at the end of the search term. And his client is here ranking number 1. So the first thing is whenever a client or any of you guys have a client and you say that you're ranking in Maps and you're not getting calls, the first thing that I look for is the listing. Is it actually ranking? So it's ranking. But really what I'm looking for is, are they dominant in the 3-pack? Like they're ranking number 1, which is great, but whoever's got the most amount of reviews and the best reviews, right, is going to be the dominant person. That's who's going to get called, right? If you're ranking number 1 with 4 4-star reviews and I get my client here to the bottom and I get 30 4.5-star reviews, I'm getting all the phone calls, not number 1 and not number 2. Okay, so again, make sure that you are freaking dominant, that you like literally obliterate your competitors with the number of reviews that you're getting. Okay, second, and I would do this first if you haven't already done it. Make sure that you're using a tracking number. Okay, because there's a really good chance that they could be ranking and that they're getting 3 calls a day, and they don't know that they're getting 3 calls a day. Right? So make sure that you're tracking it. Don't just rely on your customer to tell you if you're doing a good job or not. right? You need the mechanism in place, aka the call tracking with Google My Business in this example, to be able to show your customer, like, I'm crushing this for you, right? And for them to be able to see that you're getting them a great ROI with their marketing budget. Okay. So because this is already ranking, right? Because the client's already freaking number one, it's already got citations, right? This isn't something that we're starting from scratch. I would suggest tracking it with a call tracking number inside of Google My Business. Okay. So Robert says, if you use a call tracking number, then you will deviate from the NAP with a different tracking phone number. Robert, you're wrong. You guys want to know the solution? Let me know in the chat. I'll teach you guys the trick. I'll teach you guys the method. I'll teach you guys how to add a call tracking number to your Google My Business account and not affect your name, address, phone number, and not affect any rankings that you have gotten or that you will get. Folks, this is the holy grail. This is it. Again, I would suggest taking a screenshot of this slide. Right here, it tells you everything that you need to do in order to add a call tracking number to your Google My Business account. Yeah. So you're going to log into Google My Business, going to click sign in. You're going to click the edit button. You're going to click the pencil icon next to the phone number, and this is going to pop up. Okay, this box right here. Most of you guys are going to have one place right here, right? You're going to have just like this. Okay, we're going to click add phone number, and this box is going to appear. Okay, we're going to take the primary phone number. This is the one that was listed on the GMB. We're going to move it down here. And then we're going to take the call tracking number and we're going to put it right here. Now what's going to happen is your call tracking number is going to show up as the number that gets called, right? It's the number that's going to show up when somebody goes to call from the GMB listing. Okay, but we have taken that old phone number and it's in here as an additional phone number, right? So all the NAP and all the citation information is still being attached and it's still being correlated because you have that tracking number here inside the account under the additional phone number. Folks, we've been using this for years. Been using this little hack and work around for years. Okay, this works. Point blank, and it's been working for years. Okay, this isn't something that we came up with yesterday and we're hoping that it'll work, okay? So again, just to recap, first, you should be dominant with your reviews. Is this podiatrist? No. Second, are they using a tracking number? I'm guessing no, right? Get in the tracking number. Third, what keywords are you really ranking for? You gave me an example of podiatrist in city, state abbreviated, right? Obviously, you're going to have to rank for more keyword phrases than just that. I looked up the population of your city as well, and it's roughly 110,000 or 120,000 in population. And I don't think probably podiatrist is something that gets searched for a lot, right? So you're going to have to go deeper in terms of the keywords that you rank for, like foot doctor, ankle doctor, maybe go after, some of the problems. If it's a foot doctor or ankle doctor, like broken ankle doctor, twisted ankle doctor, right? Fractured ankle, I don't know, right? But you're going to have to come up with some more keyword phrases to go after. All right, Alex asks, I have a client that needs to take over page 1 of Google for their brand name. What are the best ways to do that? Web 2.0 properties that rank fastest, or expired domains, or auction domains, new EDMs, videos, and what are the best techniques or strategies to get the fastest results? Okay, so, and how do you push Yelp to page 2? All right, so really at the end of the day, what Alex is saying is, how do I do reputation management, right? And how do I push a Yelp listing to page 2? So this is hard, folks. This is hard because your goal isn't just to rank for one position out of 10, right? Your goal is to rank for 10 out of 10 positions. So this is hard. And Alex, I would reset expectations with your customer that you'll do the best job that you can. But what you're going to focus on instead, right? What you're really going to focus on is showing all of the great reviews that you guys have as a company and litter the whole first page with amazing reviews, right? So that when somebody sees one negative review, right, that they're not turned off. If you're selling like reputation management where you're trying to control the whole page for a customer, not have a Yelp profile or something with a bad review, rip-off report or something show up, trust me when I say that like you're in a losing battle, and I would never ever do that. I wouldn't sell that service. It's just not worth it. Okay, so here's what I would do though. I would first and foremost, when you do a search for the brand, right? When you do a search for the brand, I would find what's already ranking that you can control, right? So on the first page, second page, third page, fourth page of Google, what's already ranking there that you would want boosted, right? That you can control, right? Not somebody's review of your client's brand, right, on their website because you can't control it, right? So specifically go after what you can control. Okay, so then I would build links, right? I would build links to those sites. Okay, and just by building links to those sites with the keyword anchor text or with the anchor text as the brand name or the keyword phrase that you want to rank for, will do wonders. But then you may need to fill in 1 or 2 spots yet in terms of the rankings in Google. So build links to them, highly promotional. Why? Because you can. It's not your site, right? You're building links to these high authoritative websites. You don't need to be easy on them. At least I wouldn't be easy on them. Next up, what I would do is I would go look at sites ranking highly in Google for that niche, right? So there's, for every niche out there and every niche under the sun, there's a set of sites that just rank really, really well for that vertical, right? And so what I would do is I'd go find what those other sites are, okay, and I would add them to my repertoire. So I would go, I'd build out my profile. If it's a Web 2.0 site, right, I'd go build it out. If it's a Facebook account, I'd go build it out, right? If it's a Twitter account, I'd go build out the Twitter account. I'd make the profile be the name that I'm trying to rank for, right? Whatever that brand name is, okay? And then I would build links to it. And this should do it. Okay, that will do it. Okay, so that is the answer to that question. And guys, we ended with 5 minutes to spare. We ended with 5 minutes to spare. So if you have any questions, let me know inside the chat about my answers, right? I want to make sure everything's clear for you guys. You guys walk away with some actionable tips. So let me know inside the chat and we will go from there. Jamie says, are you going to send us a replay of the webinar? Missed the beginning. Sure, Jamie, I can send a replay. How about we do this instead, Jamie? I'll just upload it to the Digital Triggers YouTube channel. Cool. Carl King, great webinar, Joe. Thanks. You're very welcome, man. I didn't see your name, though, on the questions, man. Get in a question. This has been great, Joe. Thanks. Scott says, Scott Atwood, never seen you end with time left. I know, man. That never happens. How do you get reviews to rank? So Connie, you're not going to get reviews to rank, right? But you're going to get sites that have reviews to rank. So for example, like if we do a search for analytic call tracking, for example, right? There's the website. There's some videos, and this video carousel is showing up everywhere these days. But down here, check this out. This is a profile on a website, Zapier. We had to do an integration with them, but now we can, control the first page of Google with actually, here's two different Zapier pages ranking. Capterra is a website that you can go build a profile on, and then we have a review, right? So now we got the search snippet showing up here, showing 4 stars. Same with G2 Crowd, and there's 2 rankings here. So Yelp obviously does that, and quite a few others as well. This is pure goal. I want the recording. Great birthday giveaway present, says Amir. What's up, Amir? I hope you got my my response and support, brother. And I'm glad you enjoyed today. Is there any way to get reviews for local businesses? Do they have to be in the same city? So I'll answer that. That's kind of an extended question, but I will share with you guys what works the best for reviews. You guys see, you guys see this right here? 46 Google reviews. Yeah. So guys, I got those in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. You want to know how I got those in 10 minutes? That's the key, right? That is the key. Guys, I asked, right? So if you guys got clients and you're trying to get reviews for them, or you guys are trying to get reviews for your own brand, you have clients. Ask them, right? Ask them for help. So when we work with local businesses and we want them to get more reviews, we want them to become dominant, I'll tell you guys exactly what I do. I have the business owner go prep a list of people for him to text message that he knows personally, right? That his business has done work and service for, or that he knows really, really well, that would give him a review. He literally goes and writes down all of the phone numbers of the people. And then I send the client a copy and paste message that he texts to each and every person. So he literally types in the phone number and then pastes the chat right on his phone, right? And hits send. Next, 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 next. And this works like freaking gangbusters. This will get you more reviews, bar none, than anything else that I've ever seen. Okay, and you can do, like in 30 minutes, you can build a boatload of reviews. So guys, check this out. We did this with my father's roofing company. They had like 4 or 5 reviews or something like that. Now check this out. They got 40. In the podunk town that they live in, a roofing company to have 40, guys, they trash everybody. Right? Like they are freaking dominant. Look at this. When you look them up, tell me that you wouldn't call this company, right? So here's their website. Here's their GMB, 40 reviews. They're all freaking 5 stars, right? Here's their Facebook. Look at all the reviews. 47 votes, 5 stars. Look at this one, 30 votes, 4.7. Okay, look at these videos I got them ranking for, right? BBB, there's no stars here, right? But they own, right? They own their search listing. That's what each and every one of our brands should strive to be, right? Whether it's our brands or our customers that we're helping. Okay, that works, and it works like gangbusters. Any chance of the message? I may share the message with you guys. I'll have to think about that. Kind of one of my little back pocket tricks. But guys, it's very, very simple, right? It's like literally, it's a very simple text message. It's literally asking them for help, giving them a reason why. We're trying to improve our search presence online, right? We're trying to make sure that our reviews are good. Okay, it would mean a lot to me if you could leave a review and then we give a link to go leave a review. That's like literally at high level. Let's see. Uh, any last questions? One more call for questions. One more call. So Frank says, Joe, for the next AMA, what about Google stacking and buffer docs to help with link building? So um, is it okay if I'm like 100% real and honest with you guys, please? Give me a 2 if that's okay. I'm going to piss some people off. Frank, so Frank's question is for the next AMA, and Frank, I'm not picking on you at all. What about Google stacking and buffer docs to help with link building? Frankly, I think it's a waste of fucking time, right? Like, did some of those strategies work a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Yes. Do you ever see those strategies ranking and working right now? No. Furthermore, if Google went and did a manual review of your website and your backlinks, and they saw that you had links from 2000 Google Docs, right, or any type of Google profile or Google whatever, right? It doesn't matter, right? And buffer docs, like, don't you think that they would like be like, dude, this is like abusive as shit? Ding, like, you dumbass, right? Like, don't you think that they just smack you on the head? Like, so is some of that okay? Yes. But I think that if you're asking for a strategy for it and really want me to deep dive on it, that you're probably taking it way too far. Give me a 4, everybody, if that makes sense. Tim says, how does that affect SendWire? Great question. So Tim, creating a profile, putting up a review on there, right? Occasionally posting to it and getting an internal link to a page, right? Like deep in your site that you're trying to get to rank, right? Like that isn't really a problem. But if you're abusing the shit out of it and just posting fucking garbage, the network's going to close down your account. And if Google goes and looks at it and you've done that 30,000 times and all the links look like shit, what do you think's going to happen? Right? Like let's use our brains, right? Like using it some is not a problem. Okay, but I've seen people overuse the hell out of SendWire. That's for damn sure. The very definition of spam. Cool. All right, let's see if I can find one more question quick and we'll shut this thing down. Thanks, Joe. Always a pleasure. You're very, very welcome, Carl. Good to see you. Good to see you. Somebody's asking for a replay. Guys, if you ever need a replay, you need to hit up support. Going and filling out an AMA form, right? Ask me anything form for a replay link. You're kind of wasting your time. And same here. That's not my job. Duty is to get you guys amazing freaking content, right? Like my support team can definitely get you a replay link or help you with a forgotten password or help you reset a password, stuff like that. Not a problem at all. Awesome training. Thank you. Good to see you, Jamie. On your citations for non-local sites, do we just leave the address off? All right, I'll end with this question. This is a great question. You can if you want, but why wouldn't you put in a real address, right? And you can also hide the address. Know that there's not all sites will let you not put a street address. Some will let you just put in like city, state, zip, but others will actually require the first field, right, the street address. But Ken, why would you be shy? Right? Like if this is a website that you're going to make 6 figures from, get it an address, use your home address, right? Like why would you hide the address? Cool. All right, guys. So real quick feedback from you guys. Would you like